Right, here we go again. Here's a Ford Zephyr. It's on the previous video, but I've had to change. I'm having to swap batteries to stop it from getting too hot. Here's a couple of minis. There's a series there. Looks to be a Jeep. Which one we don't know. Ford Fiesta. If we move along a bit, we see a Morris Minor drop top. Be the 1000 again. MGB. There's a Mercedes. Next to that's a Jaguar. What is that one? Mark II, is it? Mark 1, Mark 2, I think. 3.8 litre. Helpful they put that on the bonnet. There's a, what is that one? That's a XK140. Jaguar XKE, or the E-Type. And there's a Ford Transit. It says custom. Another MGB. There's a Toyota MR2. Morris Minor pickup with a special cover on it. There's a Bedford van. Bedford HA. Used to be post office telephones. There's a A35, A30, I think that one. A30, yeah. There's another post office telephones. This time it's a Morris van. Just says Morris van on it. If we move along a bit, we see a Vauxhall Velox. Yeah, so here's a Vauxhall Velox. Probably an early one. Look at that. Right, we're gonna see if we can get a view of this. This is looks like a really big sunbeam, this one.
Do you want my picture?
I'm actually videoing the cars. I don't mind 25 horsepower. Well, I must have more than that. It'd be a bit. Must have more than that for that size. I think that must have been the taxable horsepower. I think they had a weird way of doing things back then.
You reckon?
Well, they still got a weird way of doing things now, or MGA next to a Morris Minor van and post office telephones. Yeah, because the post office used to run the telephones before they turned it into British Telecom, and now it's like various mobile operators. Is it BT runs in it? I don't know. Here's a Land Rover of some kind. It looks like a fire service jobby.
So literally how many horses?
Yeah, equivalent to, yeah.
Really?
Here's a Sunbeam Rapier. Oh, I just spotted something a bit weird and unusual, and it's behind this gentleman here. This top secret carbon design Nissan R35. This is a GTR. That actually looks nice, actually. Imagine you have to keep that polished. Wouldn't want a seagull taking a dump on it. Triumph TR6 next to it, and I've just spotted something highly unusual, so now I've got to know what it is.
What one?
It says it's a
Don't know.
Bond Equipe. Yeah, Bond Equipe. So next to that's a Ford Capri. That's a proper Ford Capri, that is. 1983. It looks as though they've done a carbon fibre job on the bonnet. See the carbon fibre look. Goes well with it, in my opinion. other side of the camera. Make sure it's not heating up too much. Here's a Wolseley. It's a Wolseley of some kind. That must be a 690. Yeah, it's 690. Look. Right, so this is a Ford Escort Mark IV. Looks a bit like a Mark III, but they changed it slightly. Austin A40. And if we go along here, we see another Ford Consul. Yeah, actually, there's a couple of them. There's the other one here. Ford Anglia. Famous example was on the young ones, where it had flat paint, had flames up the side, and was driven by Vivian. Here's another Ford. This is a Ford Zodiac. This looks like to be something called a Pioneer. Right, if we go back to the motorcycles again, we see a Honda Amigo. Looks like a special. Okay. Brockhouse Corgi. Almost as low slung as a Corgi, actually. Honda 350. Hold up, Honda 350. I've heard of these, but I don't know. There's a Norton. Next is a De Blasi. Another Honda next to Norton 850 Commando, electric start. Kawasaki KH125 next to a BSA. And there's a Honda Shadow just here. Let's have a little look at that. Right, now I'm gonna. Here's a Honda RC. Honda. I see Honda Novio, an M, matchless, I think. And there's a Triumph next to that. So there's a Triumph next to that. So TR5 MX Avenger. So Morris Minor Estate or Traveller. That's here's a Wolseley 1500. Next to that's another Morris Minor 1000 drop top. Jaguar E-Type. Let's have a look at the engine, shall we? Actually, let's have a look at the Jaguar on the roof.
Yeah.
And that looks to be the V12. Oh my life. Imagine what could have been if they. Wonder how far they could take that. I think that's one of the Bexhill 100 cars, actually. Triumph Spitfire, I think. Is it? Oh, I'm going to have to read this one. This has been, yeah, Spitfire convertible. Nice. Another Ford Anglia. Yeah, so there's Ford Anglia. Next to that's a Mini 1275 GT. Right, here's a Spitfire 1500. And there's a Triumph GT6. Oh, I'm just gonna switch down a minute because I need to change the battery again.